Hi everyone, it's Stan here. Today we are going to be applying the major terms in Microsoft Excel. Let's get started. Once we open our Microsoft Excel application, it brings us here. Here we have Excel templates to work with. But for the sake of this tutorial, we want to start from the scratch. And to start from the scratch, we'll click on the blank workbook to start. The interface we are looking at here is called the workbook. In this interface, we have what we call the tabs. The tabs are here, the tabs. We have the home tab here, we have the insert, we have the page layout, formula, data, review, view, and help. Let's get to the home tab. Below the tabs here, we have what we call the ribbons. Below the tabs here, we have what we call the ribbons. And all these we'll be using in the course of these tutorials. Before us here is what is called the workbook. And the workbook here comprises of worksheets. As you can see here, we have sheet 1 here. We can add more sheets here by clicking on the positive sign here. Sheet 2, we can add more by clicking more. Sheet 3. So we have the workbook here and we have the worksheets displayed here. So for the sake of these tutorials, we'll be working on sheet 1. Before we start working, I want to lay emphasis on two things. Those are the cells and the range. The selected box here is called a cell. And by simple definition, a cell is an intersection between the columns and the rows. By intersection, we mean the point where two lines meet. So columns are represented by letters here, while rows are represented by numbers here. So C here, moving vertically down, and 7 here, moving horizontally, intersected or met at this point and formed what is called a cell. And the name of this cell is C7. Every cell here has a name or address, which we'll be working with shortly. Also here, F moving vertically down and 9 moving horizontally met at this point and formed the cell, which is called F9. Here also, B moving vertically down and 12 moving horizontally intersected at this point and formed the cell called B12. So in simple definition, a cell is an intersection between the vertical and the horizontal axes. The range are group of cells identified by the upper left and the lower right cell. The upper left here is D4, while the lower right here is H11. So the name of this range is D4 through H11. Through is represented with colon, D4 colon H11. Don't worry, when we start application, you will understand better. Now, let's dive into business. A car dealer wants to take inventory for the week. He wants to know the number and the type of cars sold in the course of the week. Let's start by inputting data into their respective cells. We have here weekly car inventory, weekly car inventory. Under here, I will type cars. This is where I will be inputting the type of cars we have. For easy navigation, the tab key on the keyboard moves you to the next cell sideways, while the enter key on the keyboard moves you to the next cell downwards. You can also use your arrow keys on the keyboard to move either sideways, right, or left, down, or up. Or you can simply use your mouse and click directly on the cell you want to work in. So I will start typing the days of the week by typing Monday. Excel is an intelligent program that once it recognizes any pattern, it completes. So since I've typed Monday, I'll place my cursor here at this button here. It changes to a plus sign. I will hold it down and drag to where I want it to be this Saturday, Monday to Saturday. Likewise, if you want to type January to December, if I come here and type January, like we said, Excel recognizes the pattern. If I hold down here and drag down, it completes to December, January to December. I'll press my Ctrl Z to undo. So we have our cars here. We have the days of the week here. We can also come here and add total. Let me zoom out so that we can see better. I just discovered that the weekly here is wrongly spelled. So let's go ahead and correct that. Once I click on the cell there and type L, wow, can we see what happened there? It erases everything we have in that cell. So for the sake of this tutorial, there's a difference between being in a cell and being on a cell. Being in a cell and being on a cell. Let's use our Ctrl Z to bring our work back. So if you click on this cell, we are on the cell. So whatever thing we type here, we erase everything in that cell. Let's press Ctrl Z here. So I want to get in this cell and correct that weekly there and add L there. So what do? I come here and double click in that cell. And once I do that, the cursor appears there and I'll simply put my L there. I can also use the arrow key to direct it to wherever I want to effect the correction. Now we have this. Permit me to fill up these cells so that we don't waste time. Okay, now that we have all our data imputed, these are the type of cars available, while these figures here are the number of cars sold on a particular day. For instance here, Honda here, on Monday, 300 cars were sold, while on Tuesday, 800 cars were sold. Toyota here, on Monday, 10 Toyota cars were sold, while on Tuesday, 20 Toyota cars were sold. Now, before we start applying some formulas and functions here to get our total, I want us to apply some basic formatting here so that our work will look presentable. Let's start with the title here, Weekly Car Inventory. If you watch closely here, it looks as if the weekly car inventory typed here joined the second and the third cell. But in actual sense, it's just in one cell here, the first cell. If you click on this cell here, whatever is on that cell appears here. We call here the formula bar. While the name of the cell appear here, we call here the name box. If we click on B here, nothing is in the cell B. That's why nothing appeared here. Likewise, C, if we click here, nothing is in that cell. That's why nothing appeared here. So the weekly car inventory is typed only in this cell A1. So the first thing we want to do here is to merge cells so that our title here will be properly seated at the center of our work here. So we'll click on the cell A here, hold it down and drag through other cells here to stop where our content stops. Once you've done that, you come to your home tab here. Under the ribbon here, we look for an icon called merge and center. That's it here. We click the small arrow there. Then you click on merge and center. That's done. What it does is that it merges the cells A through H so that our title will sit at the center of our work. We can also add some additional formatting to our title there by selecting the cell there and clicking the B icon here, which is bold. You can italize it. The I icon represents italic. You can underline it. The U icon represents underline. But we don't want to underline. If you click on it, it goes. If you want to unitalize, you click on I, it goes. So let's just have it bold here. We want to also add font color to it. On the Home tab here, we have this icon that is called the font color. You click on the arrow there, you can choose the font color red. Assuming we forgot to add a particular car after Nissan, we can come here. Once you place your mouse on 6, it turns to an arrow. You can come here to select all, come to your Home tab, look for the icon insert there and click. It will insert a row where we can type our car. We forgot to add Ford here and 345 5 6 6 7. That's it. But for the sake of these tutorials, we don't need Ford. So what do? We go back there, place our mouse on 6 here, select all. On our Home tab, we look for delete, you click. That's it. You can also do the same with the columns here. You can click here and insert column and also delete column. Now that we are done formatting our title here, we want to add some formatting to our cars and the days of the week. We simply go here, place our mouse on 2 here and select the entire row. You can make it bold here. On the Home tab, you click on bold here. You can add color to it if you wish. You can add it color, blue, red, anything we want. But let's leave it at black. If you watch here, you notice that the Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays are not seen clearly. So what do? To open it up, we come here. Once our mouse changes to something like this, we double click. We come to Thursday here, place our mouse in between E and F. Once it changes to such icon like this, we double click. When we come to Saturday too, we place our mouse in between G and H. Once it changes like this, you can also hold down your mouse and drag mouse and cover up a bit. We can cover up further. That's it. We want to add some additional formatting to our subtitle here. So what do? Once we select our subtitle here, you can, on the Home tab, you look for an icon called orientation. Once you click the arrow below it, you can add something like this to it, or go back there, you add something like this, or go back there, make it this way, go back there, choose something like this, etc. I'm okay with this. We can also come here where we have the fill color here, we have the font color here. You can decide to fill color to our titles here. What do? If I select any of the title, I can come here, click on the arrow there, can fill yellow, come here, select again. I can fill this like this, select this one. I'll come here and give it something this way. I'll come here, just like that, just like that. Mm. Yeah, we have this now. There is this phrase in Excel which says select to effect. As you can see, we selected our individual cells to effect formatting. If you want to effect an entire row, you can come here and select an entire row and effect changes. If you want to effect an entire column, you can come here and select an entire column and effect changes. Now that we've formatted our title here and our subtitle successfully, we can come to our table here and add some field formatting too. We can come here, highlight all the cars here and make them bold. Since we are dealing with tables here, we want to select all our work here and add borders to it. So if you come to this icon here, you click the arrow near it, you see where it says all borders. We'll click on that and it will add all borders to our work. That's nice. At this point, let's apply some formulas and functions to get our total here. Let's go ahead and find the total of a particular car sold for the week. For Honda here, we want to know the total number of Hondas sold between Monday and Saturday. What we do here, we come to the total here. We type our equal sign. In Excel, every formula or function must start with an equal sign. So once we type our equal sign here, the first cell here on Monday, Honda sold 3 here on Monday. So what we do, the cell here 3 is what? B3. We click on it. Once you click on the cell name appears here. We say B3 plus the next cell there for Tuesday is C3 plus the third cell here, Wednesday, is D3. We can type in ourselves D3 plus the fourth day here, Thursday, E3. We can type in E3 there plus the fifth day, F3 plus the last day being the Saturday, G3. Once you get there, you strike your enter key. That gives us the total number of Honda cars sold between Monday and Saturday. For Honda here, we got the total here using the formula. In Excel also, you can also get the total using what we call the function. So let's get the total here for Mercedes using the function. Here, we start with our equal sign. To get the total using functions, you start with typing sum. Open our bracket here. The first cell here on Monday, 2 cars were sold. So here, the cell here is B4. So we type in B4 colon, colon means true, Monday to Saturday. B4 through Saturday here is G4, through G4. We close our bracket, we strike enter. So that sums up everything in between here, Monday through Saturday. So like we said earlier, Excel is an intelligent program. Once it dictates a pattern, you don't need to keep repeating what you've done before. So since we've found this one, we can click there, place our mouse at this button here. It changes to a sign like this. You hold it down and drag to complete the rest. From our total here, if I click on the first total here for Honda, you can see the formula bar here. You can see I use formulas here. If I click on the second total for Mercedes, you can see the formula bar here. You can see I use functions here. It is very important to use the names of the cells so that once we effect changes, it also reflects in the total. Just like here, we have the total here as 39. We have the first car sold here on Monday. We have 3 here. I want to make it 5, adding 2 to see if it reflects on the total here. So once we come here, we add 5 and click enter. It reflects on the total here as 41, additional 2. Let's go back, Ctrl Z. At this point, we want to find the total number of cars sold within the week from Monday to Saturday. So to do that, we have to use what is called the range. For the range here, you start with an equal sign, equal to, and as we defined earlier, the range is a group of cells identified by the upper left and the lower right cells. So the upper left here is B3. The first cell here is 3. So the name of the cell there is B3. So you type your equal sign, type in your sum, open your bracket. The first cell there is B3. You type colon, true. This colon means true. The lower right here is G coming this way and C is coming this way. They intersected here where we have 9 and formed a cell called G6. So G coming this way and C is coming this way, met here. So we have G6. We close our bracket and strike enter. So 200 here is the total number of cars sold within the week. At this point, I would like us to explore two more icons here. Those are the sort and the filter icons. We have our data here presented in a table. We want to know the type of car that sold the highest on a Monday. So what do? We come here, we click here and highlight everything on Monday. If you watch here, there's an icon here we call the sort and filter icon. So when we click on the arrow beside it, you can say sort from the largest to the smallest. You click on it, it will ask you, do you want to expand selection? Just say yes. You click on sort. That's it. So Nissan sold the highest on Monday. So we also want to sort the cars here alphabetically. So what do? We come here, we highlight everything here in cars. We still go there, the sort and filter icon. We say sort alphabetically A to Z. We click there. To also ask you to expand the selection, just click on sort there. Everything is sorted alphabetically for the cars. Right now, we also want to look at the filter icon. For the filter icon is used for specific purposes. I want to compare the sales between Honda cars and Toyota cars. So what do? I will highlight everything here in cars. I'll go to that icon there and click on the filter icon there. Once I click there, a button turns up here. You can see the button here. So once I click the button here, I'll come over here and deselect everything here. By deselecting means to unmark everything here because I want to compare only Honda and Toyota. So I have to select Honda here and Toyota here and click OK. So that gives me only the record for these two selections. Then when we are done comparing, we have to undo all we've done. So what do? We click on this icon here. Once you click there, you go there, you say select all, and you say OK. That brings us back to our initial work. To remove this icon here, what do? So you go back to this icon here and click. We have filter here. Once you click on filter here, that button there disappears. Lastly, we are going to present all our sales using charts. Pictures, they say, is worth 1,000 words. So let's present all our sales here using charts. To do that, I have to zoom in here. That's to reduce our data here so as to accommodate our charts. I want to present the sales of Honda using a column chart. So what do? If I click on Honda here, I'll hold down my mouse here and drag across the sales from Monday to Saturday. Once I'm done with that, I will come here at the Insert tab here. This is the column chart. I'll click on the arrow beside it and select one of the charts there. So I'll come here, place my mouse at the edge here. Once it comes up like this, I'll hold down my mouse and reduce the chart to size. Once I'm done with that, I also place my mouse inside the chart this way. And once it comes up with an arrow like this, I will just pick it, hold down my mouse and pick it, place it where I want it to be here. That is it. I also want to present the sales of Toyota using a line chart. So what do? If I click on Toyota there, I'll hold down my mouse, highlight through Monday to Saturday. Once I get there, I'll go to the Insert tab there. That's a line chart here. I'll click the arrow below there, choose any of the charts here, click here. Then place my mouse here. Once it turns up like this, I'll hold down and reduce to size. Once I'm done reducing, I will free my mouse, bring my cursor here. Once it's here and turns up like this, I'll hold down my mouse and place it where I want it to be. I want it somewhere here. Once I place it there, I will release my mouse. So now I have both Honda and Toyota presented using charts. At the insert tab there, we have other charts here. We have the pie chart here, we have the combo chart here, we have the scatter chart here, etc. You can decide to rename this sheet here. Where you have sheet 1, you can decide to rename it by right-clicking on it and say rename. You can call it here cars. Strike your enter key. And this is it. We have to wrap it up here. So to save your work, assuming you are just starting, at the tab here, you click on File, you come down there, you click on Save As. Here, where we have Browse, you can click on the Browse so as to locate where you want your work to be saved. I want it saved on the desktop, so I'll click on Desktop here. On the file name here, I will type Stan Excel. Once I've typed that Stan Excel, I'll click on Save. And my work here is saved on my desktop. Alright guys, in our next video, we are going to be taking some further steps into the basic tutorials for beginners. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. For practical definition of all the terms used here, you can check this video. While for further steps into the basic tutorial for beginners, you can check this one. Thanks for watching.